233-3955. Every second counts.
This is powered by Atlantic Television Network.
Welcome back, and now we dive into the details for today. Federal High Court sitting in Abuja has restrained People's Democratic Party, Governors and National Working Committee and Board of Trustees (BOT) of the party from tampering with or dissolving the Executive Committee of the party in Rivers State. ATM reports that members of the party, PDP excos, are loyalists of Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Ezenwo-Wike. The court also restrained the PDP governors and parties NWC and BOT from constituting any interim committee to replace the officers of the party at the state, local government and ward levels in Rivers State. Justice Peter Lifu issued the order while delivering ruling in an ex parte application brought forward before him by the PDP Rivers State Executive Committee led by Aaron Chukwuemeka and his counterparts at the local government and ward levels. Justice Lifu also ordered the PDP national body and others not to tamper with or dissolve the local government and ward leaderships of the PDP in Rivers State, who were elected along with the State Executive Committee during the recent Congress of the party. Analysts have emphasized on the need for due process in regards to the October 5th local government polls in the state. Speaking at Atlantic Television Network program Open Conversation, a political analyst, Ifeanyi Ugochukwu, maintained that Rivers State Independent Electoral Commission must at first ensure to handle all issues of court-related cases as it concerns local government polls in the state. Meanwhile, Mr. Ugochukwu highlighted areas of hurdles in the proposed council elections in the state. This is coming as the All Progressives Congress in Rivers State has doubted the possibility of the proposed council elections in the state on October 5th. The APC said there is nothing on ground to indicate that the exercise will hold on the said date. They urged Governor Fubara to stop deceiving people, Rivers State people, that the elections will hold. Lagos State Police Command has arrested 98 individuals involved in various crimes ranging from armed robbery, kidnapping, cultism to drug trafficking. The State Commissioner of Police, Ishola Olarinwaju, announced this yesterday at news conference at the command's headquarters in Ikeja. The arrests were made between September 17th and 24th. He said, "We have successfully cracked several cases and brought to book suspects involved in crimes such as robbery, cultism and kidnapping," Olarinwaju said. He noted that during the operations, a range of items were recovered, including 10 firearms, 41 rounds of live ammunition, 12 mobile phones, 39 bags of cement, a ton of rods, various hard drugs and charms. One of the incidents involved a group of suspected armed robbers identified as Godwin Chukwuebuka and Solomon Balogun, 23-year-old. The suspects were apprehended in the Ikotun area of September 20. Officers recovered an AK-47 rifle with 3 rounds of live ammunition and 2 local double-barrel guns. Another high-profile case involved the rescue of a 21-year-old woman who had been kidnapped in Badagry. The suspect involved in the kidnap case, Hassan Samson, 35-year-old, Nemeka Chibike, 28-year-old, and Shegun Akimola were arrested. The victim was freed after a failed attempt to demand a ransom of 10 million naira. The police also apprehended 3 men, Desmond Emeka, 28, Kingsley Izoronwu, and Sheriff Olusomadi, 25, on September 22. The suspect had targeted female passengers at night with local pistols. 6 cartridges and 12 iPhones were recovered. Olarinwaju further said a case involving a one-chance robbery syndicate in Oyigbo 4 suspects were arrested at a hotel in Ajigule after robbing a victim and transferring 5.6 million from their accounts. Recovered items included a local pistol, a POS terminal, and the gang's operational bus. Several arrests linked to cultism were made, with the police netting multiple individuals suspected of engaging in court-related killings across the state. A raid in Ikorodu led to the arrest of 2 suspects, Hassan Ibrahim, 24, and Quadri Lasisi, 22, with a Beretta pistol and 24 live cartridges in their possession. A separate operation in Ajigule resulted in the arrest of 2 notorious cultists, Odunola Oluwaseyi and Ayobami Fashola, both aged 27, alongside Mustafa Lawal, 23. 2 local pistols were recovered. Olayiwaju also highlighted the arrest of suspects involved in illegal sales of firearms. 3 individuals, including Oliver Okechukwu, 29, were arrested in connection with the sale of over 350 arms under the guise of a logistics company. In several operations targeting drug trafficking, the police arrested individuals found in possession of substantial quantities of hard drugs, including cocaine and substances suspected to be Indian hemp. One arrest on the area involved the seizure of 120 wraps of cocaine. Olayiwaju reiterated his commitment to reducing crime in Lagos. He emphasized the importance of collaboration with the police and the public, urging residents to report suspicious activities. He said, "Security is everyone's business. We urge you to give us your support and say something when you see something," he concluded. The suspect will face prosecution after investigations are concluded, Olayiwaju confirmed. As part of efforts to ensure the effective handling of gender-based violence (GBV) cases, the Ogun State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, in collaboration with the United Nations Population Fund, has held a retreat for the Sexual Assault Referral Center (SARC) service providers in the state. Commissioner in the ministry, Adijat Adeleye, during a retreat held in Abeokuta on Wednesday, said the gathering was an avenue to brainstorm ways to enhance service delivery in SARC, improve survivors' experience, and work towards creating a safer and more supportive environment. Adeleye stated that SARC's service providers were front lines in the fight against GBV, ensuring that survivors found a safe place where they could rely for essential recovery. He said, "As service providers, you are the front lines of this fight, and your role is not only to deliver services, but to make every survivor feel welcomed and supported, not forgetting that your ability is to also empathize, listen, and provide a safe space for survivors in essential to their recovery," she said. Adeleye pointed out that the creation of 3 new additional SARC centers in Abeokuta, Ilaro, and Ijebu-Ode would complement the one located in Shagamu to enhance the support available to survivors, to allow them seek refuge and justice, as well as receive medical and psychological care. She revealed that the state government, in conjunction with the UNFPA, has rolled out toll-free lines to report GBV cases to get necessary support. The lines given are 080 0000 666. I repeat, 080 0000 666 and 080 0000 555, respectively. In her welcome address, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, Adejumoke Adewolu, urged the participants to take advantage of the retreat to cross-fertilize ideas and act in line with the global best practices towards strengthening the collaborative effort with stakeholders in combating GBV in the state. Reiterating government's commitment to justice, compassion, and equality, on her part, the UNFPA Gender Reproductive Health Analyst in the state, Dr. Esther Shumefun, emphasized the need to improve the skill of SARC service providers, making them problem solvers through the provision of standard care using the survival center approach in handling GBV cases. She led the synergy between the state, government and the UNFPA in supporting survivors, protecting and putting their interests at heart, noting that the organization had zero tolerance for sexual exploitation, abuse and harassment of survivors from the SARC service providers. Moving on, Oyo State Commissioner of Environment and National Resources, Honorable Abdulmajid Mogbonjubola, has appealed to residents of the state to continue to abide by the state's environmental laws and with a goal to make the state one of the cleanest in the country by 2025. This is just as he said, the state and its capital, Ibadan, are no longer amidst the dirtiest cities and states in Nigeria, stating that this was according to the data from United Nations Environmental Program, UNEP, and Clean Up Nigeria. Mogbonjubola, while speaking during a cleanup exercise which started at the Cocoa House, Dugbe, Ibadan, with over 500 volunteers participating to support the message of a clean environment, said the exercise was to further spread the message of sustainability to the public as volunteers cleaned through the major road from Dugbe to Mokola Bridge. According to him, the recent improvement in the sanitation in the state is not mere coincidence, noting that it is a testament to the renewed focus of the state government in environmental sanitation by the of Governor Seyi Makinde. He said, the state government under the leadership of Governor Seyi Makinde also established the role of law enforcement authority. This agency was established to bridge the gap in enforcement of extant laws on traffic management, environmental sanitation, and other issues, from decentralizing the state's waste management consultancy to creation of an environmental rapid response squad. The Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources has seen a revival. Mogbonjubola added that efforts have continued as the state, through the ministry, of recent celebrated World Clean Up Day 2024 with the global theme, Make Room for Life, stating that the day was a global action program that's combating the global solid waste problem. He disclosed that the United Nations General Assembly, in its 78th session 2023, unanimously adopted Resolution 78122, which proclaims 20th September as World Cleanup Day, noting that the ministry, in collaboration with Recyclage, put together a 2-day event to celebrate the day this year. The Ministry of Environment and Natural Resources celebrated World Cleanup Day 2024 edition for the first time ever in Oyo Waste Summit. The maiden edition of this summit was graced by several state dignitaries and sustainable stakeholders, and had two guest lecturers, Mr. Adam Garba, who is the Chief Operating Officer in the Nigerian Climate Innovation Center, and Dr. Shade Akinsete from the Department of Environmental Health Services, University in Ibadan. The event was graced by the attendance of the Deputy Governor Barrister Bayo Lawal and other key state officials. It also had in attendance by stakeholders and members of the public, as the Waste Summit achieved its goal for sensitizing more people on the importance of keeping a clean environment and opportunities of recycling and upcycling, he said. Experts have expressed concern following the federal and state government's approach to mitigate devastating floods that challenge the country. Speaking on Atlantic Television Network program Society Watch, a developmental expert, Eric Bifa, blamed state governments for inability to diligently tackle the issue of flood amidst forecast and funding.
Some of these things are things that some of these things are things that may not be entirely avoidable, but you could mitigate them. You could mitigate. It seems that each time we do not about this, so it's like a repetitive cycle. I mean, it has happened today. We take the usual knee-jerk response. Oh, Sarah. Response. Oh, Sarah will issue statements, which I entirely. Asking the
Well, Mr. Eric advocated for a sustainable remedy to further avert natural disaster. ATM recalled the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project have urged President Bola Tinubu to direct the Attorney General of the Federation and Ministry of Justice Lateef Fagbemi and appropriate anti-corruption agencies to promptly investigate the spending of billions of ecological fund collected by Borno State since 2001, including the 816 million collected by the state between January 20. Investment company and private individuals is not favorable to FCTA, and there is need for balancing. BK stated this when he visited the Kubo International Airport market, in Abuja, pointing out problems of encroachment of the front market view and ordering the developmental control to remove all that would hinder fast completion of the market.
Well, it is said PPP arrangement between the investment company, which is an agency of the Federal Capital Territory Administration, and a private individual. We have a stake. The land belongs to the FCT. And then the company invests. Here there is a sharing formula, which is not acceptable to the federal. First instance, which have directed the director to see that they meet with the investor to see how we can have an arrangement that is suitable for all of us. So now the way it is not favorable. It's only favorable to the investor. Secondly, this is an investment that should be encouraged. The international market is up to standard, and there are a lot of problems, there are encroachment. And I've directed the development control to immediately demolish demolish anything that is going to cause as an impediment. This is a road corridor, and we will not allow that. And the river control director is there. He has been ordered to immediately move in with his men to demolish whatever is an obstacle.
He promised to support the project to ensure fast completion of it by January next year, adding that the FCTA will, through empowerment programs, also support traders to access the market instead of using roadsides for their businesses.
I've asked him when he thinks that the whole thing will be ready. He has said we should give him till January. However, the first phase has been completed. We'll therefore see what we can do to see that we open the first phase. And some of these are traders on the road has to come in here and give the free traffic that we deserve. We'll do everything we can to support people. Those who have not indicated interest will see how, through the employment program of the Relief Hope agenda in FCT, we'll see whether we can also put in some funds by taking some stores and giving it to our people. We'll do everything to see that people move into this market as quickly as possible at the first phase. So we're happy. First of all, we have a market where that will create a lot of employment for people. People will carry out economic activities. Again, it will decongest the roads, where you see everybody takes the road as a market. Anybody who's coming to market, I'm going to Kubo International Market, whether it is in terms of manufacturing, whether it is in terms of other things. So there are so many advantages. It will boost the economic activity, it will boost the revenue of the government. More importantly, it will create a lot of employment. That's what's key to us, employment, job creation, very key.
In the same vein, the minister also visited the former building of Ministry of Agriculture, which the president has ordered for renovations for the newly created Ministry of Livestock to move in as soon as possible.
This is a former Ministry of Agriculture, and we have a directive by Mr. President to go and immediately refurbish the place and furnish it for the new Ministry of Livestock. And that's why we went there to see it for ourselves. We are going to get some companies to come and look at it and quote for it. It's an emergency work. And because the creation of the Ministry of Livestock is a welcome development, and you can see people are happy waiting for it to start. And so now that that place has been identified, the president has ordered the FCT administration through the FCDA to look at it, and we're seeing the integrity test, which is okay, and we have to rehabilitate and furnish it, and then you will see the Ministry of Livestock take over.
was the day Mr. President assented to the act after the bill was forwarded to him by the National Assembly. He added that any federal public service, whether self-funded or treasury-funded, that had not received a circular to this effect, specifically from the NSIWC, should contact it for further directives. Nta said, this is to avoid an uncoordinated implementation which tends to destroy the existing salary relatives in the federal public service. He said that the NSIWC would issue further directives on how pensioners, NYC members and interns would benefit from the implementation. The chairman listed other revised templates to include consolidated research and allied institutions salary structure, consolidated universities academic salary structure, and consolidated tertiary institutions salary structure. Second, he said others were the consolidated polytechnics and College of Education academic staff salary structure, consolidated tertiary educational institutions salary structure, and consolidated medical salary structure. Nta named others, including the health salary structure, paramilitary salary structure, police salary structure, and the final list of consolidated structures were the intelligence community salary structure, armed forces salary structure as the final. Quoting him, this is consequent to the enactment of the Amendment Act of 2024 and the Memorandum of Understanding reached by the Committee on Consequential Adjustments in Salaries arising from the National Minimum Wage Amendment Act of 2024 between the federal government and the Nigeria and the trade union sides of the Joint National Public Service Negotiating Council, September 20th, Nta concluded. You're watching Government and Public Service Report on Atlantic Television Network. We'll be back after this short break. Stay with us.
The people of Maiduguri need your help. A catastrophic flood has engulfed the city, leaving over 1 million residents stranded and fighting for survival. Entire communities are submerged, with people trapped inside homes and on rooftops cut off from food, clean drinking water and essential supplies. Health experts are warning of a potential outbreak of deadly diseases, and medical facilities are out of commission. The situation is dire. Helicopters, boats and high-riding trucks capable of navigating the treacherous, waterlogged areas are urgently required to reach the countless men, women and children still awaiting rescue. The Nigerian media is issuing a desperate plea to the government, humanitarian organizations, international actors and citizens across the nation. Step in now, before it's too late. For more information on how you can help, contact Professor Usman A. Tar, the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Internal Security, Borno State, on 0809-233-3955. Every second counts.
This is powered by Atlantic Television Network.
Welcome back to Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network. Now to the rest of our stories. CBN has once again adjusted the exchange rate used for calculating custom duties for importers. This is the fourth change in the month of September 2024 and reflects the state of the naira in the forex market. CBN changes in dollar rate means the cost of imported goods such as phones, cars, and food items, amongst others, will remain high. Central Bank of Nigeria increased the dollar exchange rate for custom duty to clear goods at the nation's ports. According to the data from the federal government trading portal, Nigerian importers will now be charged 1,666.219 naira per dollar from Thursday, September 26, 2024. The new rate represents a 0.38 increase from the previous rate of 1,659 naira. Custom duties are taxes and levies paid on goods imported into the country. The duties are paid through a commercial bank to the Nigeria Customs Service, which collects them on behalf of the federal government. According to Apex Bank policies, customs should use the rate when submitting Form M to calculate duties. Form M is a mandatory online documentation process for importation of physical goods into Nigeria. The latest adjustment indicates that importers who open Form M on Thursday will exchange naira for 1,669 naira per dollar. The current custom rate reflects the performance of the Nigerian currency in the Nigeria autonomous foreign exchange markets against the United States dollar. On Wednesday, the September 25th, data from FMDQ Securities showed that the naira closed at 167 naira to the dollar in the official market. Nigeria has secured a $600,000 relief fund and commitments from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation to support flood relief efforts and reforms in the health and agricultural sectors. Specifically, the foundation pledged $600,000 for flood relief in Borno State and other health sector initiatives, with an additional $5 million grant approved for Lagos business schools and partners to develop the agricultural economics of industrial cassava. The donation was announced when Vice President Kashim Shettima held a meeting with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation led by its head of development of global programs, Dr. Christopher Elias, on the sidelines of the 79th United Nations General Assembly in New York. Shettima reaffirmed the commitment of the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to placing health, nutrition, and agricultural development at the forefront of the nation's national agenda. In a statement by Senior Special Assistant of the President on Media and Communications, Office of the Vice President Stanley Wokocha, Shettima said, "We are deeply committed to addressing the pressing developmental challenges facing our nation, particularly the significant malnutrition crisis." Shettima emphasized the federal government's dedication to integrity and effective leadership in tackling these issues, pointing out that there is an urgency in securing locations for maize production under the Tele Maize program, promising swift action on import permits for certified seeds. The VP said, "We recognize the critical importance of food security and industrial agricultural development." Presidency on Wednesday confirmed that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will carry out a cabinet reshuffle. He stated that the exercise will be evidence-based, as Tinubu will be aided in his decision by public opinions that have been empirically extracted. The special advisor to the president on information and strategy, Bayo Onanuga, who revealed this to journalists in the State House, however, explained that the exercise has no timeline yet. He said Tinubu also instructed his ministers to actively promote the accomplishments of his administration. He said some of the ministers have been media shy, television shy, radio shy, and he wants them to overcome all that and go out there and speak about what they have been doing. President Tinubu appointed his ministers in August 2023, and here is a list of some of the president's ministers. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security is Abubakar Kyari. The Minister of State for Agriculture and Food Security is Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi. Minister of Arts, Culture and Creativity, Hanatu Musawa. Aviation and Aerospace Development is Festus Kiyamo, and Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Abubakar Atiku Bagudu. Minister of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy, Bosun Tijani. Defense, Mohammed Baduru Abubakar. State of Defense, Bello Matwali. Minister of Education, Tahir Maman. Minister of State for Education, Yusuf Sununu. Minister of Environment, Balarabe Abbas Lawal. State for Environment, Isiaq Adekunle Salako. Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Ezenwo-Wike. Minister of State for the Federal Capital Territory, Maria Mahmood Bukure. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edun. Foreign Affairs is Yusuf Tugar. Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare is Mohammed Ali Pate. Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Tunji Alausa. Minister of Development and Housing, Ahmed Dangiwa. Minister of State Housing and Development, Abdullahi Tijani Gwazo. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Alleviation, Betta Edu, which is on suspension since the 8th of January 2024. Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment, Doris Anite. Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris Malagi. Innovation and Science, Technology is Uche Nnaji as the Minister, and Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo. Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi. Minister of Labour and Employment, Simon Lalong, who resigned on the 20th of December last year. Minister of State, Labour and Employment, Nkiruka Onyeji-Ocha. Minister of Marine and Blue Economy, Boyega Oyetola. Niger Delta Development Minister, Abubakar Momo. Minister of Petroleum Resources, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Minister of State of Petroleum Resources, Oil, Henneken Lokbobiri. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Gas, Ekberikbe Ekbo. The Minister of Police Affairs, Ibrahim Gedan. Minister of State of Police Affairs, Imam Suleiman Ibrahim. Of Power, Adebayo Adelabu. On Solid Minerals Development is Dele Alake. The 38th Minister of Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs is Zephaniah Gisalo. Minister of Sport Development is John Eno. Minister of Steel Development, Shuaibu Audu. Minister for State and Steel Development, Uba Maigari Amadu. Minister of Tourism, Lola Ade John. And Transportation, Saidi Ahmed Al-Khali. Water Resources and Sanitation is Joseph Utsev. State for Water Resources and Sanitation, Bello Mohammed Goronyo. Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy. And finally, Minister of Works, Dave Umahi. Minister of Youth, Bayo Ibrahim. And State for Youth, Ayodele Olawande, finally. Federal government has officially increased the monthly allowance for NYSC members from 33,000 naira to 77,000 naira effective July 2024. Reports gathered that the upward review is in line with the National Minimum Wage Amendment Act of 2024. NYSC said the increment aims to bring more needed financial relief to the core members and to motivate them to serve Nigeria better. The federal government has improved the increment of the Youth Service Corps members, as previously said. According to statements signed by Caroline Embu, NYSC Acting Director of Information and Public Relations, the increment takes effect from July 2024. The NYSC said the development is in line with the enactment of the new minimum wage by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, adding that the increment was communicated to it earlier on Wednesday, September 25, via a letter from the National Salaries, Income and Wages Commission. Reporters recall that the General Director of the NYSC, Brigadier General Yushau Ahmad, paid a visit to Ekbunta, the chairperson of the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission. At the meeting, he solicited a robust welfare package for core members. Following the increment, the NYSC boss expressed gratitude to Bola Ahmed Tinubu's led administration. He said he is optimistic that it will not only bring the much-needed succor to the core members, but also boost their morale and motivate them to do even more in their service to the nation. Meanwhile, some NYSC members who spoke to reporters expressed excitement over the recent developments. Also, in Niger State, Governor Mohammed Umaru Bago announced the gift of 200,000 naira bonuses to all core members under Batch B Stream 1 posted to the state. Bago said the bonus is to make the core members stay in the state comfortably. The governor announced that Niger Farms would provide a 200,000 naira incentive to each of the 1,600 core members assigned to the state for a total of 320 million naira. Additionally, Governor Bago said that the state would spend 5 billion naira building a permanent orientation camp for the National Youth Service Corps in the region. Besides, he also approved the sum of 5 billion naira for the building of a new NYSC camp and assured to pay 500,000 naira monthly for any of them who would venture into farming in the state after their service. He said his administration has heavily invested in mechanizing agriculture, noting that this is done to woo people, especially Governor Bago, who made the declaration during the NYSC Batch B Stream 1 orientation ceremony held at the temporary camp in Paikuru yesterday, also encouraged the core members to remain in the state after their service and assured of adequate support from his government. He said, "I was told that there are 1,600 core members for this batch. I'm therefore crediting each of you in your accounts with 200,000 naira to enable you to comfortably stay in Niger State. This is to show you that there is prosperity in Niger State, and I will equally do my best to ensure that all of you enjoy serving in Niger State. Already, I have given orders to build more toilets, drill 5 boreholes in this temporary camp, and I will donate 20 cows and 1 trailer load of rice for your welfare while in camp." The governor announced to cheering core members. Governor Bago also announced automatic employment for members who are on the medical and health field, willing to take employment with the state towards improving healthcare delivery services across the state. Dr. Jamila Bayo Ibrahim, in her speech, of the Youth Development also announced plans for the federal government to empower 5,000 NYSC members with up to 10 million naira each for entrepreneurial ventures, including agricultural technology, among sectors after their service. Said, "Your service to our nation is invaluable, and it is my sincere hope that you will use this year to lay a strong foundation for your future and to develop a well-rounded skill set." The Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Yusuf Ahmed, thanked the governor for his assistance and called on all other governors to emulate this kind gesture as a way of encouraging the youths. And with that, this is where we wrap it up on this edition of Government and Public Service Reports on Atlantic Television Network in the city of Port Harcourt. I am King David Obasi, thanking you so far for staying with us. Continue with us on our socials, Atlantic Television Network on Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic TV Network 1 on Instagram and TikTok, and X, formerly known as Twitter, at Atlantic TV/net. And our website is atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Thank you so far for staying with us.